What's up, guys? It's Dontavious Hill here, Team USA high jumper. Competed at Auburn University over a 5-year period from 2019 to 2023. And today I am talking with Oakley. So, Oakley, can you just give us an introduction of who you are and what you do?
Hey, I'm Oakley White. I'm a high jumper as well. I've recently committed to the Hardman track team. And what all do you want? You want just track stuff or
Yeah, for sure. Just track stuff and just,
okay?
your journey and whatnot. But I do want to say, so, you know, I've been, coaching up and helping athletes who reach out to me on social media and whatnot for probably the past 6 or 7 years. And Oakley reached out to me back in 2022 and it's currently 2025. So Oakley, so what grade were you in back in 2022?
I was in 10th grade then, and it was my second year attempting high jump. My first, I just went out my first like last meet, tried it one time. Second one, I actually started doing it, and I think I cleared 5.8 that year and the next year. And then this year I cleared 6.4 on my first meet.
Okay.
So
So that progression went 5'8", then where did it go?
went 5.8, then a practice 5.10, and then this season I got a 6.4
Okay, and this year is senior year.
senior year.
All
Hmm.
right. I do want to ask, so what changed for you? I know you've been, following me for a while now and whatnot and have reached out in the past, but what do you feel like was your biggest change in regards to being able to improve from going from 5'8" to now being 6'4" as a senior?
Probably the mindset in general, just where when you actually focus on it, then you also have the confidence that you have the vertical to clear it. And then once you believe that you can still clear it, then that's where the changes you can actually get over the bar.
All right. And that's actually a really big deal. A lot of athletes think it's very physical. High jump, although it does have a physical component, you touched on a really good thing there. Just saying like it's part of the mindset and the self-belief that really determines how high you're really gonna jump, right? So I know you said you kind of jumped 5'10" in practice as a junior. Did you not make any progress that junior year?
Nope. I never jumped over 5.8 that year. Now, I will say I was focused entirely on basketball that year. I wasn't focused on track very much. I came into that season pretty banged up. My knees were shot from basketball, and I didn't give it all I had in that season. But so that's probably why I never got progression. If you don't put it in, you don't get results. So
Right. And did you do indoor track or did you just do outdoor track?
I've only done outdoor. I want to do indoor, but I haven't done it in the past.
Right. So when you get to college, it's gonna be your first time doing indoor.
Yep, it'll be my first time.
Awesome, man. Just to provide a little context, so guys, Oakley kind of reached out to me, um, just asking for some help on getting recruited and whatnot. And just my personal experience in the track and field space, me understanding when I was like a senior in high school, that was my first opportunity to get recruited. And my PR at the time was like 6'3". And I had no idea how to get recruited. I had no idea like how many coaches to contact, what to do, what to say. And after, years in college, seeing other people go through the recruiting process, I pretty much crafted a formula or pretty much a system of things that I know athletes should be doing in order to get recruited. And that's actually what I was able to give Oakley. So Oakley, I do want to ask, so what was your experience, before, using and implementing some things from that system and those notes and those techniques that I sent you? So what was your experience beforehand, recruiting wise?
I really hadn't like I reached out to you before I ever really tried to get recruited or anything, so I hadn't put any effort in. I contacted you at the start, and then I started implementing stuff. I ended up going committing to the very first college I talked to. So
That's awesome, man. That's really actually pretty cool that you started with me. I do want to ask, so did you have any idea? So what was your concept of like the recruitment landscape of track and field before I gave you, everything that I gave?
To be honest, I had no clue. Like I didn't know like anything really about the recruitment process or how it went. So yeah, starting from nothing.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome, man. I'm glad I was able to help you in that way. How many colleges did you end up, contacting? I know you said you committed to the first college you end up recruiting. How many colleges did you actually end up, getting back?
So I only contacted and ended up talking to the first college because it was my college I knew I wanted to go to. I have a ton of friends that I know, a ton of people already at that college, and I wanted to go there for other reasons as well. But so I only talked to them. I had a few others that I was looking at and was going to go visit. But then after a meeting with the coach, I ended up getting told I was going to get a scholarship. And then he called me about a few weeks later and offered me the scholarship, and I accepted then.
That's awesome, man. That I'm gonna be honest, like whenever you kind of want to go to a school and you kind of get that,
Mhm.
you get to meet them in person and all that stuff, it's like you'd be sold at that point, you know? Uh,
Mhm.
the same thing kind of happened with me. Originally, I wanted to go to a school in Alabama, and Auburn ended up reaching out to me and whatnot. And when I went on my official visit, I didn't have to go nowhere else. I'm like, I'm good, and I know you talked about having friends and everything going to that school you're at now, or that you're going to.
Mhm.
Would you say like this was your dream school?
I'd say it was. Yeah, it's for really three different reasons. Because of like the friends I have that are going there, the spiritual life, it's a Christian campus, and then third would be the teachers and stuff. Like it's relatively smaller size wise, so you have good one on one connection with the teachers. So that would help like learn and actually understand the things. So if I needed help with the class, I can just contact the teacher easy.
Oh yeah. And I know you say it's a Christian campus and whatnot. Would you say your faith has played a big role, in your athletics and just your life in general?
Definitely, yeah, it's played a big role for sure.
Oh yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Just your journey so far, just being a Christian, now committed to a Christian university, also improving by a lot in the high jump over the years. Just, how God has really impacted your life.
Okay, so I've grown up in the church. I was baptized at 10 years old. And then, I mean, I've been in the church my whole life. I started sports when I was about 13 is when I played competitively basketball for about two years before I started adding in track. Ran distance for a while. Eventually added high jump in and sprinting. I've been homeschooled my whole life as well. And I've been under Christian organizations for the homeschooling and athletics. So that's helped as well with the environment some. And then, I mean, now just getting a lot further than I was before. The main thing is just to keep your focus on God and what athletics, while it is such a big part in our lives, to still remember to keep it second to God and see what it gets you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love the way you put that, man. Um, you know, just growing up, me personally, just my own experience as well. So, I always identified as a Christian, but I wouldn't say that I was able to necessarily find God until more when I got to college, right? And I met certain people who showed me the way in a sense, but that's so great that have been able to have that kind of experience, even just growing up and through high school and whatnot, man. And I'm sure that's going to continue to follow you through college as well, especially going to a Christian university, being surrounded by some of the same people along the way, man. So that's really great. Happy for you.
Thank you.
Sir. I do want to ask, so I know you reached out to, your dream school and whatnot. And after they got back to you and you talked with them, you kind of settled in there and you were fine. I do want to ask, so did you ever have any other interest in trying to look at other universities? Or was that just like the main one and you got that one locked in, like I'm good to go?
Yeah, so I have had interest in other universities because when I committed, I actually hadn't cleared 6.4 yet. I was still, I think I was around like that 5.10 range when I committed. And then when I cleared 6.4, I was like, so I could go into the NAIA division, but also I was like, I wonder if I could make it D1 or something like that if I keep on. But in the end, I mean, I still was like the pros outweigh the cons on this school. I'm going here. We're building a new team right now, and I would be a part of that. So, but yes, the answer was yes. I have thought about or looked at them. So,
Oh yeah, man. And in regards to, reaching out to them and whatnot, I guess without, having to tell too much details of everything that you say and whatnot, um, how was that experience, just reaching out to the coach and getting a response and kind of knowing what to say, just from, some of the things that I got to you.
okay. So, I was going on a college tour and then I met with a coach like in his office. And really, we just had a conversation about the past athletics in general. And then just be yourself is the main thing. Just be real with them. Tell them who you are, what you do. That's the main thing. I think you told me that. That was the main thing that you told me to do. And that was what I think helped more than anything.
Oh yeah, that's actually really deep because some people they feel like they got to go and act a certain way or, put on a certain face when they go somewhere or when they go on a visit, but that's exactly what you don't want to do because in order for you to find what university is a fit for you or your family, you have to display who you truly are. And I'm glad you were able to take that away and actually go and do that when you had that opportunity. Because, what some people may run into if they decide to go the other way is they'll run into, going to a place where they weren't a fit. And that can sometimes lead to potentially transferring or all kind of stuff. Like I know you've probably seen in the past or nowadays people have transferred 3 or 4 times, which is a lot, so definitely, a lot of the things that, I got to you had to do with some of the reaching out, some of the type of persona that you want to display, being yourself and whatnot, and also just different strategies. But at the end of the day, when it comes to choosing a university, you want it to be something organic, something authentic, something real. You don't want it to be, fake, you know. So,
Mhm.
oh yeah, but yeah, that was everything I had for you today, Oakley. Thank you for hopping on, man. Just to give a quick recap, guys. So speaking with Oakley, Oakley reached out to me back in 2022, asked my help in regards to recruitment. It is 2025 right now, and he has committed to his dream school and whatnot that he's kind of looking at for a while now, has friends that go there. And yeah, he just reached out to me about 3 years ago, asking what to do, and he recently sent me an update on his progress that he had finally committed, and just kind of thanked me for what I was able to give him and whatnot over the time period that I did help him. So just glad to be able to talk to him and share his story and just his experience. Even him sharing the fact that it's a Christian university and his journey and his faith in God and whatnot. So thank you, Oakley, for hopping on, and I appreciate you.